Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so grateful that you're tuning in. Welcome to my podcast, Misunderstood, guiding highly sensitive people through an emotional dark age. I'm your host, Candice Vandal, and I'm honored to embark on this transformative journey with you. Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit into the world around you or even your own family? Like your sensitivity was a burden rather than a gift? If so, you're not alone. And here's the truth. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a superpower. It's what allows you to feel deeply, to connect with others on a profound level, and to access a higher realm of consciousness. And on this podcast, we're going to explore how to harness that power and use it to create a life of purpose, passion, and true confidence. Here, in this sacred space, we honor your sensitivity as the gift it truly is. Get ready to embark on the journey of unapologetic emotional honesty and next level healing. Let's dive in together. Hey guys, welcome back to Misunderstood, guiding highly sensitive people through this emotional dark age. I am your host, Candice Vandal. If you were ever one of my clients, then you know you've asked me this question. Candice, how did you stop caring what people think about you? I'm going to explain to you. Look, I've been sitting behind this coaching desk for 11 years, over 11 years now. All day, every day. I've seen a plethora of clients, all ages, all walks of life, all different success levels, all different fame levels, all the things. And what I've realized over time is what I was really hoping I would realize is that everybody's the frickin' same. Everybody's heart beats, everybody's heart has feelings. Everybody is the same at the core level. I used to call this, before I even started coaching, I used to call this the authentic thread. When we can all get back to our authentic selves, we all understand each other. This podcast is called Misunderstood for a reason, because when we live in an emotional dark age, we're living in the age of people not knowing who the hell they really are and not functioning from that place, which makes you feel weird when you're being totally authentic. So as I got really, really, really in touch with my authentic self and started living that way, making choices that way, not giving a shit who left, who came, knowing that if I'm born perfect for my purpose, then my people will find me as long as I'm shining bright enough for them to find me, right? You stop giving a rat's ass what anyone thinks about you because you realize everyone's got issues. The people who have things to say about you are not in their authenticity if they're being rude and cruel and judgy. Authenticity doesn't have judgment. It has discernment. It has boundaries. It has likes and dislikes. I may like what someone's wearing and not like what someone else is wearing, and it has nothing to do with them. Think about it. When people are giving you that rejection, that abandonment, that criticism, it's really about themselves. I can't even go into how many levels that goes into, right? But this is what I always tell my clients. Okay, that person did all these things to you. Would you ever do that to someone? And if you did, what would it take for you to do that? Oh, I would probably feel bad about myself. Right. So that's how they feel. I love being a coach for people because everyone always says, I come to you and it's like a judgment free zone. It's like you see me. Yeah, because I don't judge myself and I see myself. So I can see you. People who can't see you purely and through loving eyes are not in love with themselves fully. Really take that in. That's going to really help you out. Anyone who you feel judged by, stop and think about, do I agree? If so, I'm going to take it as a truth, which means you have more inner work to do. I don't judge myself. I see things that I do that I could say is flawed. I'm like, damn, I'll work on that. Love myself anyway. All my friends laugh at me because I am known to make crazy mistakes or say insane shit or do something wrong and be like, oh, shit, got to work on that. Love myself anyway. Think about it. Other people's opinions only matter to you if you agree. So if someone's like, Candace, you're really ugly, and I'm feeling like really ugly. Oh my God, I'm ugly. Yeah, shit, it must be true. Well, it is true because it's true for you. When you stop believing terrible things about yourself, you're going to stop believing other people's terrible things that they say about you. So then you'll ask me, well, how do I start loving myself? Well, if you don't like the way you look, improve it. Go to the gym, change your eating habits, go get your hormones checked, get a haircut, get your teeth fit, whatever the hell you need to do to love yourself. Now, when it goes to the extremes, it's kind of like, why so much attention on that stuff, right? Like, look, I show up like this, you guys. This is how I woke up today. I don't really wear any makeup. I don't really care what I wear. Usually I show up to my sessions and like, hi, comfy zone, right? Because what are we doing? We're talking about deep shit. I don't have to look a certain way, right? I mean, you know what I mean, at a certain level. I take showers. But the whole point here is if I were super obsessed with what people thought about me, I would be trying to live to please everybody. How do you do that? How are you everything for everyone? That is disgusting. It's exhausting, actually. So I try to be good for me. What do I feel like today? I feel like eating this. I feel like not exercising, or maybe I feel like exercising double, or maybe I feel like, oh, I need to take a trip. Really listening to yourself first. And if you don't know what you are until other people give you an opinion, you got a lot of inner work to do, right? And that doesn't mean it's going to take forever. It means you got to get in touch with who you truly are and what you truly feel. Most people get confused with what they should think over what they really do think, because when they really did have an opinion as a child, they got abandoned. So they had to do their inner child, what was done to them as a child, and abandon the self, abandon their preferences. I have a huge, like the LBGT, whatever the hell, what is there? That community of people, right? Lesbians, gays, trans. A lot of those people come to me and like my work because they're like, oh my God, that's how I feel. I felt different. Or, they weren't allowed to, if it's you, weren't allowed to own certain aspects of yourself because it wasn't allowed. Allowed according to who? A lot of it was society because we live in an emotional dark age. Um, sorry, notes. But we're starting to wake up from that. We're starting to see that whatever the hell you naturally are should be accepted. You can't expect to be fully accepted by society because society is an emotional dark age. But you can still be accepted by self and not give a shit about what society thinks about you. Look, I'm going to be real with you. I You guys know this. When I was diagnosed with ADHD at age 7, which by the way, attention dialed to a higher dimension, it's such a gift. Um, I felt that. I felt like, oh, in society, I'm something's wrong with me. So I'll just highlight the fact that I look like the ideal. And that was my career. I'll be a model because I get accepted in society this way. And then as I modeled for like 20 years, I was like, I actually just want to be who I am out loud. I actually want to talk about the ADD. I want to talk about feeling shame my whole life for it. I want to talk about feeling different on some level. I want to talk about neurodiversity. I want to talk about how looks are not something we really need to focus that much on because it changes and the ideal changes all the time. It's about self acceptance. And when you start to realize that society is just a bunch of people with opinions, oh, society isn't God. When I started figuring that out, I was like, oh my gosh, God didn't create society, people did. And people are not very evolved. We're in an emotional dark age with wounded humans creating society. Think about it. I feel bad that I called the LGBTQ wrong. Sorry about that. But it changes a lot. And I can't keep up with all these like terms these days. Honestly, I just say people. We're all just real, keeping it as real as we can. But we're not keeping it real when we're caring about other people's opinions and abandoning parts of ourselves. So let's take this short episode and start to realize what parts of ourselves we can be more accepting of. When you self accept, you don't give a shit about who else accepts you. Do I like it when people like me? Sure. Do I think any differently about myself when people don't? No. I get negative comments all the time. Are you kidding me? When you have a big following, people say shit. They like to target you. They live behind a screen. They don't care. So I have a ton of positive comments, obviously. But over the last decade plus, I've had some negative, and I'm just like, oh, sorry you feel that way or not. I don't care. Block or don't block. Who cares? But if you're one of these people that really needs people to like you so you can like yourself, you're living externally. When I started talking out loud on YouTube 11, 12 years ago, I started telling my truth, not giving a shit who would listen because it felt so empowering to tell my truth. And as soon as I remember the first week I was on YouTube, uh, I got 10,000 subscribers and I didn't even know because I did a video and I walked away and I was like, oh, it felt good just speaking my truth. Who knows if anyone will ever find this video? A week later, 10,000 subscribers and I could monetize because after 10,000, you can monetize. And I was like, what is this email about monetization? What? People like what I'm saying. And then I started reading comments and people were like, whoa, dude, you are explaining this in a way that I've never heard before that sounds like my exact life. How do you know? I said, because I got real about how I feel and now I'm healing and I'm sharing. Yeah. Getting real about how you feel, not what you think you should feel. What do I really feel about what I think I should feel, right? I'll give you a really real time example. My divorce was finalized like 4 years ago. And since I was a child, I always wanted to be married because I wanted to feel claimed and I wanted to feel family unit 'cause my family unit was so screwed up and divorce and abandonment and all the things, right? It's not like I had a terrible family. It just was not, it was dysfunctional, right? And I'm a Cancer. I just wanted a family. And I got married and it was amazing. Loved being married, loved being a stepmom, loved all the things. Realized that I really didn't feel that called to have my own children. But I think part of it is because I'm kind of healing everyone's inner child all day long. Like a lot of my clients are like, you're my spiritual big sis, or you feel like the mother I never had. And that's very fulfilling for me. So I didn't have that drive. I had more of a drive towards my service work in this arena, which is great. So back to the point, now that I'm divorced, I'm thinking like, do I ever want to get married again? Being married for almost 10 years, like healed that part of me that needed that phase of my life to heal that part of myself. And things change and grow. And so I had to do this like deep dive into my identity again. I'm like, hmm, do I ever want to be married? And I was like, I don't know if it matters. I don't have this craving to heal anything, right? I feel like I heal all day, every day. So it's almost like, what do you want to explore and experience in life? Opinions about what I should be doing at this age and what it should look like, I don't give a rat's ass because the people giving me opinions, I don't really think that your life looks so great. And if I do think your life looks great, great. It works for you, but I'm not you. It's truly about getting super acquainted with the deepest truth of ourselves. Do I want to get married again? Well, it took me forever to figure out if I wanted to have kids, forever. And I waited till like the last minute. And then many of you guys know I had a surprise pregnancy at 44 years old. Surprise. And I was so happy about it. I was like, wow. I always said if I get pregnant, I'm going to have it naturally. Like I'm going to get pregnant naturally. I'm not going to do IVF. It was just a personal choice. I don't want hormones in my body. Personal choice. I know a lot of people do it and it's fantastic for them. But again, about me, didn't want to do that. And so I surprisingly got pregnant at 44. Didn't think it was possible. It was like, whoa, what a freaking gift. Miracle, literally. And we were like really excited. And that pregnancy did not last. It was a miscarriage. And even with the miscarriage, I felt at peace. I had a chat with the soul and I know what's going on. And it was perfect for me. So now I'm like, do I ever want to get married again? Would I ever adopt kids one day? Maybe when I'm not as busy at work, maybe when I'm 50 and I'm like, damn, I have a lot of love and resources to give something. Maybe. I'm staying open. I don't need things to be defined. That's another thing about living true to yourself. Maybe you don't need things to be defined to have an identity. My identity is I know who the hell I am and I'll figure things out. I love that. What else? Where do I want to live? That's a big one right now. I moved across country last year, a year ago, October, to Georgia to live with my boyfriend and try the East Coast out again and see how I feel. And I've reconnected with so much of my family here. My sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, my nephew live close. So we've been hanging out and it's been amazing. I haven't seen them in a decade. Not a joke. Long deep dive, which I'll do in another podcast. But like extreme healing has happened to me. And when I was moving across country, I was like, I don't really want to live in Georgia, but I feel pulled here. Turns out it was for a much deeper reason. Family healing. Incredible what's going on. So where do I want to live now? Our lease is up in January. We literally leased this house for a year because we didn't know where we wanted to buy. And it was kind of really smart. And now I'm like, do I want to go back to the West Coast? Do I want to explore something else? It's kind of fun. I don't know because shit doesn't define me. I define me. My higher self, my service work, my connections to life and soul and something higher define me. That's who I am. So anyway, that's me ranting and rambling and it's been really fun. But I love you guys. Stop caring about what other people think. And if you do, explore it. It will lead you back to your authentic self. Please share this episode with anyone you think needs to hear it. Please go say hi to me on Instagram at Candice Wendell. You can send me a message on my website, CandiceWendell.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love you guys. Have a great week.